1, 2, 3, 4. Hello there everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Lessons with Guitar Man. My name's Aaron and I'll be your designated driver here today for the G major scale, also known as G Ionian in the first position. This is the first guitar scale that most guitar players learn. I know it's the first one that I learned, and definitely a very important one. So let's go ahead and dive in there and see what makes this thing work. So if you look at this chart, you're going to notice there's 3 red dots. You got one here on the low E string at the 3rd fret. You got one here on the D string or the 4th string at the 5th fret, and you got one here on the high E string at the 3rd fret. So you got a red dot, and a red dot. And it's important to point these 3 out before we begin this scale because those are all G notes, or the root note, or the note that makes it sound like we're at home. When we're playing through this scale, every time we get to one of these reds, it's very important to burn into your brain that this is the home or root or where we want to be to sound at rest. Something to point out here before we get going is that you'll notice when I was playing this scale that each one of my fingers kind of went up and down the strings like a little spider here. And that's because each finger owns its own fret. In other words, this pointer finger here is going to own all the notes on the 2nd fret. The middle finger here is going to own all the notes on the 3rd fret, the ring finger on the 4th fret, and the pinky finger on the 5th fret. No finger interferes on any other fret except for the one that it owns, and therefore making you learn proper fingering technique. Let's go ahead and start on the low E. All these are going to be downstrokes. All right, so here we go. Middle finger on the 3rd fret, and then pinky finger on the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay, now let's go ahead and move up to the next string, or the A string, or the 5th string. And here we're going to have kind of a big stretch where we got our pointer finger here on the 2nd fret, our middle finger here on the 3rd fret, and our pinky finger here on the 5th fret. So it's going to be 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5. All right. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next string down, or the D string, or the 4th string. And here we're going to have 2, 4, 5. And notice here where my pinky's at, that's one of those red dots, or the home note, or the root note, or where it sounds like we're at home. Let's go ahead and play the 6th string, the 5th string, and the 4th string. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more time. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next string now. This is going to be on the G string, starting here at the 2nd fret, and we're going to have a 2, followed by a 4, followed by a 5. All right, so let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's move down to the next string, or the 2nd string, or the B string, and we're going to do 3 and 5. 3, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, moving on to our last string, we're going to have 2 and then 3. And again, if you notice where my middle finger's at here and you look at the chart, there's a big red dot right here too, and that also happens to be a G. Okay, So let's go ahead and play the top 3 strings, or the first, second, and third strings, starting on the G string at the 2nd fret. So 1, 2, ready, go. And one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now we're going to go down and do this whole scale together, starting on the low E string, or the G note here, and we're going to climb up, and when we get to the top, we're going to go all the way back. And what I'm going to do, as I ascend the neck, I'm going to play this G, or this red dot, twice, and I'm going to play this G, or red dot, twice, and then when I'm descending, I'm going to play this red dot twice again, going back to home. That way your ear will hear when you're on a home note as you're going up and down, or ascending and descending the neck. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well that's going to conclude the G major scale here. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Feel free to reach out to me at my website at lessonswithguitarman.com, listed in the description below. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you down the road.